So there's about 1,000 videos on YouTube telling you what you need to get started woodworking. But what comes next? What do you do when you have the drill and have the cheap table saw and have the little things that everybody says you have to get started? What's next? So in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 tools that come next. This video is brought to you by me, woodworking.com. Check us out for easy to follow plans for projects for you to keep or to sell. Link in the description. So these aren't really expensive tools, and in most cases these are really the cheapest that you could find. But I still get a lot done with these tools. A lot of people say buy once, cry once, but I believe get something smaller and then outgrow it. Even if it only lasts you a year, if you could use that tool to pay for the upgrade, then why not do it? In fact, the most expensive thing I'm going to show you still costs less than 200 bucks. So let's get started. Number 1 is a bandsaw. So I bought this bandsaw at Lowe's for about $175, I think is what it costs. It wasn't much. And it doesn't do a lot. You're not going to make bandsaw boxes out of hickory with this thing. But what you can do is you can make a lot of templates. It works absolutely great at cutting small pieces into any shape that you want them to. I've had this thing for a couple of years now, and I've never had any issues with it. I did one time resaw a 2x4, quickly realized that that was too much for this thing. So you want to stick with small pieces, thin pieces, and soft woods. But you can get your money's worth out of it, and it can take you to the next level. For number 2, I'm going to give you 2 tools. It's going to be the Kreg Accu-Cut and the Kreg Rip-Cut. Lumping these together because they do the same thing basically. They give you a straight cut. Now most people, when they get started, they just use something to clamp down, and it works well for a long time. But when you step up from a normal straight edge to one of these, it cuts your time way down and it makes your accuracy go way up. So these two are definitely something that's going to help you level up. And I have review videos of both of these that I will link in the description below. Number 3 is a belt sander. When you're in the stage in between just a random orbital sander and moving up to planers and joiners and things that's going to really help you get your glue ups level, a belt sander is going to be invaluable, because once you practice and learn how to use it, you can remove a tremendous amount of material quickly and easily and make any of your panel glue ups turn out a lot better. And if you want to see the review of this, there's a link in the description. For number 4, I'm going to put 2 tools together once again. It's going to be the oscillating spindle sander and the 12-inch disc sander. I'm putting these together because typically you buy one machine that will have the heads that will switch on and out. Everybody's seen those. I chose to get separate machines. I really didn't want to be constantly changing those heads out all the time. As you progress in woodworking, you want to move on from just doing straight pieces into things with a little more curves. And these sanders are going to make that possible. Although you can do this with an ROS, these 2 sanders together making these curves, it just makes everything work so much easier and quicker. For a long time, I took my belt sander and clamped it to the table and used that. It does work, but the flat surfaces on these 2 machines makes everything perfect. So whether you get the 1 machine or go for the 2 machines like I have, these are definitely going to be something that you want to add to your shop. And I'll also drop a link in the description for the oscillating spindle sander. And I've saved the best for last, so number 5 is a router table. So I bought this router table last year when I was building the bed for my granddaughter. I bought it because there was like 10,000 feet of roundovers. And up until that point, I had either used a trim router or actually the router that I put in this router table. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying in the beginning about waiting to buy expensive tools versus going ahead and buying something less. So I was kind of waiting to buy a really expensive lift and a table and spend a couple of $1,000s, but then I decided just to go ahead and spend a couple $100 on this thing. And that's literally what this cost. Between the router itself and the table, I mean, you're looking at about 200 bucks. And I cannot explain to you how much time I have saved with this machine. I should have bought it a long time ago. In fact, this is really one of the first cheaper tools that I bought. And this router table has absolutely been a lifesaver in here. So if you guys are listening to this at all and you're still here, do yourself a favor, go and get you a router table. It will make your life better, I promise. And I also have an unboxing video in the description below.